Hey, everybody, what's going on? Jeff Rieger, another episode of the Daily Ticket. This one for a Thursday. It's the 28th of December, 2023, counting down the days of the remainder of the year and crawling closer to one of the more unbelievable sports weekends we're ever going to see. Pistons potentially could break the record for the longest losing skid in the history of basketball. Saturday, they take on the Raptors. Later on tonight, they take on the Celtics. They could get to 29, which, by the way, no team in the history of the NBA has ever lost 29 in a row. The record is 28 by the Sixers over 2 seasons. Pistons are so special and shitty, they can do it in one. How about that? Also, Saturday, we got Lions at Cowboys. What a freaking game that's going to be. We'll get into it tomorrow, how the Lions win this football game, why or why not they don't win this football game. However, if they do, if the Lions roll in the Jerry Dome, they're going to be honoring Jimmy Johnson. They're putting him in the Ring of Honor. It's going to be Buck and the former Cowboy Aikman on the call on ESPN or Channel 7 ABC. It could get a little nauseating if the Lions lose the game, but we'll get into how they could win the game tomorrow. But man, you want to believe in this team more than you already do? Go beat the Cowboys. Woo! Sky will be the limit truly at that point. And then we're only a couple days away from New Year's Day. Michigan takes on Alabama. Jim Harbaugh talked about his contract yesterday. I'll quickly give you what he said. I'm taking everything day by day. I mean, that was his response. They were hanging out in Disney World, both teams. They caught up with Harbaugh. They asked him about his interest in the NFL. That's what he said. I mean, what else do you expect him to say? I'm going to go to the league. I'm going to stay at Michigan. I'm going to sign that contract they apparently have on the table for me. Of course not. Jim ain't saying anything. He just wants to beat Bama. So what a weekend we got, and we're almost there. Oh, baby, I cannot freaking wait. By the way, when I wear my hat backwards like this, I can truly tell how bald I really am. Like, look at this. Oh, geez. Wow. I'm going to shave my head, people. Oh, my. I'm going to put this hat back on. Nobody wants to see what I just saw. I got to edit that out. Whew. Not great. Anyway, I don't know if I look better with the hat backwards or the hat forward. Let's see here. Yeah, let's go backwards. Feeling a little crazy today. Anyway, I want to get into it because here's what I've noticed about Lions fans over the last couple days. Everybody's different. There are some scared Lions fans, like petrified, like I want the easiest matchup in the first round of the playoffs. And then there's some gutsy Lions fans. I consider myself one of them that want to get the 1 seed, get the first round bye, get the postseason running through Ford Field. And if you meet tougher competition in your first playoff game than if you were to play the week before, then so be it. Here's what I wanted to do. I want to give you some scenarios. How the Lions can get the 1, the 2, and or stay in the 3 seed, which they're currently at. I'm going to give you some scenarios. We'll hit on the Packers, the Vikings, the Seahawks, and the Rams as well. All still have a chance to make the postseason. Some better than others. And then I want to ask you a question. Because I heard something on the radio that was so ridiculous. But then after doing a radio show, I actually now think I understand where some of these people were coming from. So we'll get to that at the end of the podcast. But here's every scenario you could ever want. If you're wondering how the Lions get the 1 seed, can't happen this weekend. If you're wondering how the Lions get the 2 seed, it cannot happen this weekend either. Niners have the 1 seed currently. Philly, the Niners, the Lions all have the same record. Everybody's sitting there with an 11-4 record. But because of conference record, the Niners currently have the number 1 seed. Philly's in the 2, Detroit's in the 3. Now, the only way you can get the 1 seed if you're the Detroit Lions is have a better record than San Francisco some way, some form, somehow. That's the only way. You're both 11-4. they have them win the tiebreaker. So if you can get the 12 wins and they stay at 11, or you get the 13 and they stay at 12, you got a shot. You got more than a shot. You get the 1 seed. And the 1 seed comes with a bye and home field throughout. Duh, obviously. I mean, that to me is the perfect scenario, but it's going to be tough. You got to win out. You got to go to Dallas and win. Then you got to win in the last game of the season against Minnesota, who more than likely will not be mathematically alive, but they could just barely be mathematically alive if they beat the Packers and some other things happen for them. San Francisco's next 2 games against Washington and then against the Rams. There is a scenario, because I don't think the Niners will lose to Washington, especially after the beatdown they took by the Ravens the other night, Monday night. San Francisco could lose to the Rams because the Rams potentially could need that last game of the season to make the postseason themselves, depending on what they do this weekend. So Matthew Stafford could actually help out the Lions. Could you imagine? You win your next 2 games, you beat the Cowboys, which, my goodness, that would turn heads. Then you beat the Vikings, and then you turn to the Rams, maybe on Sunday Night Football, to take care of the Niners and give you the 1 seed in the NFC. Oh, baby. You get the bye, you get home field throughout. That would be amazing. I don't think it's probable. I don't think it's very realistic. I think the Niners are a very good team, and after getting smoked on Monday Night Football, I got to believe they win their next 2 games. But that's how you get the 1 seed. To get the 2 seed, really easy. You got to win out. Because currently, the Eagles have the tiebreaker over you. But if you beat Dallas, it doesn't matter what Philly does. You got to win out. It's that simple. You win your next 2 games, Dallas and Minnesota. Doesn't matter what the Eagles do, you get the 2 seed. And with the 2 seed comes 2 playoff games at home. Now, of course, you got to win the first one. But 2 playoff games at Ford Field. You waited 30 years for 1 home playoff games. Could you imagine having 2? That would be freaking amazing. So that's how you get the 2 seed. The 3 seed, you're locked in. You're good to go. You automatically get a home playoff game for winning the division. Can't get the 4 or the 5 or the 6 or the 7. Life is good. As far as who you play, there's a chance that you play one of 5 teams. It's either going to be the Rams, they're 8-7, or Seattle, who is 8-7. Minnesota still has a chance. They're 7-8. Atlanta, 7-8 as well. Green Bay is 7-8, and New Orleans is 7-8. But of course, you've already beat them. Here's the deal: odds are you're going to play one of 2 teams. If you happen to get the 2 or the 3 seed, you're either going to play the Seahawks or you're going to play the Rams. I think it's that simple. Those are the 2 better teams of the 5 teams I just listed. There's about a million ways other teams could somehow sneak into the postseason. But more than likely, it's going to be Seattle or the Rams. So here comes the question, all right? What do you want? Because it was the weirdest thing in the world. Like, I would think every Lions fan wants the 1 seed. I would think every Lions fan wants the bye. I would think every Lions fan wants to enjoy a bye and then get home field throughout. Because I can tell you what, the Lions at Ford Field in a playoff game with a healthy offensive line and indoors, I don't think they're losing. If they got the 1 seed, which again would be very difficult, you need to win out, and San Francisco needs to lose one of their remaining 2 games. But you get the 1 seed. I think the Lions would go to the Super Bowl. I don't know how any team comes into Ford Field and beats them. I got to be honest. But if you don't get the 1 seed, what would you want? You want the Rams, Matthew Stafford, a chance for the cleanse, also a great chance for heartbreak, or do you want the Seahawks, a team that have beaten you the last 4 times, including this year at Ford Field? Now, it's interesting because I want the Rams. I want the glitz. I want the glamour. I want Hollywood. I want the storylines. I want the narratives. We've already been over this. I think beating Matthew Stafford would be truly special. Other people are afraid of Seattle, while other Lions fans want Seattle. But then I came across the weirdest opinion of them all. And then I realized maybe Lions fans are just scared. So I was listening to the afternoon show a couple days ago. Jim Costa was filling in for Mike Enrico. He had multiple callers, and I do mean multiple callers, that called up and said, listen, Jim, I don't want the 1 seed. I want the 3 seed or the 2 seed. I want the easiest matchup possible. If you get the 1 seed, you're going to get tougher competition in the second round. And even though you get the first round bye, and even though you get home field throughout, these people didn't seem to care because they want the easier team to play because all they want so desperately is to watch a playoff win. And at first I'm like, that's stupid. Why wouldn't you want the 1 seed? Lions at home are unbeatable. Give them a week to get healthy. Like, yeah, why wouldn't you want the 1 seed? But then I realized the rationale might make sense because it's been such a long time. And for the longest time, all it's ever been about is a playoff win, which is stupid. Hopefully that changes once you get one. But for the most part, a lot of people never saw one. Or if you did, you want to see it again. Last time the Lions won a playoff game was all the way in 1992, is the 91 season. I was in 9th grade. A lot of people weren't alive. So I guess once I sat and I thought about it, I realized, like, I guess I see where they're coming from. They want the easier team in the first round simply to scratch that off the list. Get the monkey off your back. They want to win the playoff game and never have to hear about it again. Because, of course, people hold it against Lions fans. You got one playoff win since 1957? You fucking kidding me? So that's why they feel how they feel. Now, again, I'm still going for the 1 seed because I think this team is special. And I would like to talk to those people. The people that just want a playoff win. And that's enough. I would like to argue with you. You're much better than that. This Lions football team can do great things this year. You get the 1, even the 2 seed. You guarantee yourself as many home games as possible in the postseason. You're going to win those games. Lions offense, when healthy O-line, at home, 6-0. You get everybody on that offensive line protecting Jared Goff. He's got all the time in the world to pick you apart. I will believe, and I do believe, that the Lions can win any game they play at Ford Field. Now, if they got to go to Philly, if they got to go to San Francisco, I think they probably lose those games. Absolutely. But you find a way to get those teams to come here, Ford Field, Lions are going to the Super Bowl. And then whatever happens from that point on, it truly is gravy, at least in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, you want to win the damn thing. But if you lose in the Super Bowl, I'm going to be okay. You hope that next year you win the thing. I mean, what progress that would be, right? But I would like to ask you on the comment section below, what's your scenario? What would you like? Do you want the 2 seed, get 2 home playoff games and take on the Seahawks in the first one? Do you want the 3 seed if it gets you the Rams? Do you want the 1 seed like I do? Why wouldn't you? You get the first round bye, home field throughout, but the competition is going to be tougher. Once you finally play the playoff game, because it will be round 2 instead of round 1, the team you play will have already won a playoff game. What's your scenario? Let me know. Comment section below, please. I told you mine. And what's with this belief? This almost being scared if you're a Lions fan. There's so many Lions fans that seem like they're bracing for the worst instead of trying to embrace what could actually happen. They're a good football team. Your defense is only going to get better. I know people can't shake the thought of Nick Mullins throwing 4-11 against them, but he also threw 4 picks. And you're going to get C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. And James Houston, apparently his clock has started. So you're going to get him back. And Ali McNeil, you're going to get him back, your best defensive tackle. So that defense is going to get better. So what's your scenario? And does it seem like most Lions fans are afraid instead of confident? That's out there. I want your comments. Please, comment section below. Now, injury report for Wednesday. Some bad news and some good news. Good news always first, right? Kirby Joseph, According to Dave Burkett, did not look like himself. He's dealing with a groin issue, but he did practice. Not on the injury report at all. That's good news. The bad news, Taylor Decker, groin injury, did not practice. The veteran left tackle for the Lions. Now, I think it would be impossible to keep Decker out of this game against the Cowboys. I think it would be impossible. However, he did not practice, which is not ideal. Hopefully, it's just resting the groin, and he's back tomorrow for the walkthrough, and he gets ready for the game on Saturday. So that's the update. That is the update from practice. Here's something else that is really cool, and I like this. 2 Hall of Famers unhappy that the Lions won the NFC North. The first is none other than the great Aaron Rodgers, who was asked about it on the Pat McAfee show. And he said, I don't like it. I'm bummed. I still cheer for the Green Bay Packers. So anything to make Aaron Rodgers unhappy makes me very happy. The other one is very bizarre. Do you remember Larry Fitzgerald, the great receiver for Arizona for the longest time, on this Lions on Tap podcast? Quote, a team that hasn't won a division championship since 1993. It's hard for you to take them that serious. Yes, they're playing really well, but they are the Detroit Lions. Unquote. Look at the Lions catching some strays from 2 of the greatest to ever play the game. Larry Fitzgerald and Aaron Rodgers. Mr. Achilles himself. Oh, I'm going to make it back. Upset that the Lions won the North. So I want to know from you, what are you looking for? What's your scenario of choice? 1, 2, 3 seed. You want the Seahawks. You want the Rams. You want a tougher team in the second round, which could include the Dallas Cowboys. You want the Saints. You want the Falcons. You want the Packers. You want the Vikings. Let me know. And does it seem to you like Lions fans are thinking the worst when they should be thinking the best? That's on the Daily Ticket. Comment below. Let me know. Now, yesterday's Daily Ticket was all about Tom Gores and how pathetic his comments were. Pistons have lost 27 in a row. They might lose their 28th in a row tonight in Boston, where they're an 18.5-point dog the last time I checked. Now, we read you the brutal Tom Gores comments when he was asked about the fans chanting, sell the team, which, by the way, Tuesday night at Little Caesars Arena, the chants were louder than they were last Thursday. They asked Tom about those comments. And remember, he said it's a ridiculous thought to want him to sell the team. He also said, other than winning, we're great in the community. So I did ask you, if you could send me your other than comments, I would read them all. And I did get some, and I appreciate it. Like, for instance, other than being a mass murderer, Jeffrey Dahmer was a pretty good guy. Other than maybe killing 2 people, I'm sure OJ was a great dude. Other than not having brakes, my car is the best. Other than winning, we do a lot in the community. So here's some that people sent in. They're other than one-liners. This one from 100 Nation 8. Other than my wife cheating on me, she's a supporting, loving partner. That's a good one. This one comes from James6864. Other than getting straight Fs, he's a pretty good student. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. How about this one? Other than my unremarkable physique, charisma, and lack of a British accent, I'd make a great James Bond. That's from Nicholas Tricarlico 2957. That's a great one. I like it. How about this one? Same poster. Other than my crippling LSD addiction, I think I make a great life coach. How about Goldzers 2.0? Says, hey, Goris, F off. Other than profit, ticket prices don't matter. I like that. Other than having gas, eating White Castle burgers is great. I like that one. That comes from Rodney Singleton, 6993. I think that's it. Thank you. I appreciate those comments. Keep them coming in. I'll read them all. That's the episode of the Daily Ticket. Give me your thoughts about Lions fans. Do they seem a little scared as they approach this uncharted territory? What's your scenario? What do you want seating wise? And who do you want in the postseason? Let me know. Tomorrow's podcast all about the Cowboys and the Lions. How the Lions beat the Cowboys, which, by the way, would be a massive victory. Change a lot of people's opinion about how far this team can go. We'll do that tomorrow on the Daily Ticket. In the meantime, enjoy your day. Happy Thursday. Catch you tomorrow on a Friday. See you.